Okay. Hello, 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 and welcome. You know what? We have a wonderful person here that we're going to interview, and me. Why does everybody go to the we thing? I don't know. It's like more than just
Well,
yourself.
I think we're all one. We are all one.
Oh, I like that
Yeah,
idea.
I mean that's
Well,
we are all in this together, really.
we
Ultimately, I mean
that's for
that's
sure. Yes,
that's
but
what's going
before
on. So
further ado, I'm going to sing, such a day, yeah, such a mighty fine day. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you, thank you,
we
thank
are
you.
getting right into it today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dennis Atlas. Oh.
Hello, thank you for having me, Marquita.
Thank you for being here. And
My
Dennis,
pleasure.
we go back quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just talking about that. We were like, "Whoa, it's been 6 years."
That's how long it's been?
I think so. Because I'm pretty sure that was about the timing. It might have been 2017 or 18,
Wow.
but
Yeah, time is
something
like,
like that.
yeah, yeah. And tell everyone about yourself because we want them to know who Dennis is.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm a guy from Santa Clarita, California, and I love singing. I love playing music. This is what I do. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do
Yes.
for art, for expression, and for all of that. So it's all tied in together. And I've been a singer since my earliest memories. I've always known I wanted to be a musician for my career.
Yes.
I've never considered anything else.
That which is it's the same as myself.
Yeah.
You know, my mother took singing lessons when she carried me.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's like, okay.
Yeah, you were born right into it.
Yeah, and
That's
my
beautiful.
name is after an old waltz. Marquita, Marquita, I still hear you calling. Marquita, Marquita, my love.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, we were destined. And I don't know what age it was, but his mother showed me a picture. I went to see Dennis just
Oh,
recently.
of course she showed you that picture. Now I know where you saw the picture.
Well, we were talking before, and it was of you, and it was so cute because you were just so happy, and you were carrying an album of,
Paradise Theater by Styx.
I mean,
Yeah,
you were destined. You knew it, you felt it in your heart, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, that is so good. Oh my gosh. And we are so fortunate because so many people don't know what they want to do and are searching, and then they settle for certain things that really don't make them happy,
Right.
and
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, yeah, and that's not the case with us. You
Yeah,
know,
we're very blessed that we knew what we wanted because a lot of the time that's half the battle. Usually, what you want to get in life is not as hard to get as you think. It's usually just you knowing that it's what you want. At least that's been my experience.
yes,
As soon as I get specific on what it is, and I don't have any bad feelings around it, I don't have any resistance to it. It usually takes not all that much time, and then it shows up. And it's not really even in a way where I have to go get it. It's more like, oh, I realize that that's what I want, and then you give it some time, and it's like slowly over the next kind of couple of months or years, it just sort of formulates, and I'm going, well, here I am.
yeah, uh-huh. Well, you're very aimed. It
Yeah,
seems. It seems like you're very aimed at things, and you've thought things out. You know what
I
you
believe,
want.
relatively speaking, yes. I can see that when I compare myself to other people or something. I can see that, but really comparing yourself isn't where the joy is. It's more in looking at where the next place is that you can be even more refined and even sharpen that point even more.
Yes,
And that's what I'm constantly doing. So it's funny that you say that, and I take that as a huge compliment. So thank you.
yes,
But yeah, for me, it's always a matter of wait a second, I need to get this even clearer to myself. Where am I going? What am I doing? Because music or entertainment or art, that's all really in the grand scheme of things. That's very broad. You can do anything within that.
yes.
And so it's kind of like I asked God, I want to be a musician. I want to be doing this for a living. And he's like, okay, here you go. And I'm here. I'm going, well, wait a second. This isn't what I meant. Well, what did you mean? Let's make it very clear.
Yeah, okay. Could you tell me? And he says, no, 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 no. You have to realize what I have planted in you to be and your purpose for giving in life to others. You have to realize that. And then you need to be giving that out, not sit on the sidelines, wishing, hoping, thinking, and praying. It's like, that's cute, right? But it's the activity of actually going towards it and being purposed in your mind, then the reticular activating system.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have read about
gosh.
this. So have we read the same books?
No. Actually, I must say, I'm just new to this, realizing the activity and going, oh my gosh, I've missed something. No wonder I'm going like this. But no, now I understand it and I'm so aimed. But I've been reading. I didn't read when I was a kid. I had I'd look at it and then look back, just like sight reading, and it's like Greek. It's total Greek. Where the heck was I?
Well, and so
But-
for your YouTube viewers, would you like to explain what that is or what that means to you? Or sorry, you were probably getting somewhere.
No, we will. You will go and you'll talk about it because you've read more.
Okay.
No, but I
Well, not
now-
necessarily, but
Well, okay. Well, I've started reading, and later in my life I've read. And so I have audiobooks because it's easier for me to get it in because it takes me forever to read a book.
oh, I'm the same way.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the artistic part, But at any rate, as I sniffle, I'm reading more, and Napoleon Hill, I mentioned in another interview, I'm reading him, and I'm going backwards. I'm reading the ones that are here, and I'm realizing, wait a second, there were other people way before that came up with things, and it was very much about being purposed with the mind. And it was just recently that I was going through his book, and then I was listening to Ed Milet, and he was the one that mentioned, and in his book, The Power of One More, he had mentioned the RAI, the reticular activating, RAS rather, system. And I was like, what? And then when Napoleon Hill mentioned, your subconscious, and when you go to bed, to really think about what your goals are, and that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
You're aiming, you're getting down to that subconscious level. Are we getting really deep here,
It's to me,
It's
this
so
is what's
important.
important. It's like
Yes.
when I finally hear someone talking about this, finally it's like, whoa, this points through. This is like that sharp point that cuts through the clutter and goes, now I'm not just doing a bunch of stuff to do a bunch of stuff. I'm hearing something that means something to me.
And you're doing purposefully, but you're also aiming down deep in yourself, in your subconscious, getting past the, oh, you can't do that. Why are you thinking of doing that? And you shouldn't be doing that. And oh my gosh, the doorbell rang. All the clutter and noise, you're getting down to that part that can really start activating and bringing you to what you need. Yeah, it just brings it to you. That's what you were aiming at. It's just coming to you, but you had worked it through and your subconscious came through. Then your activating system started working. Oh, I need to get that. I need to get that. I need to do that. And computer says, and there we go.
Yeah.
So tell them a little bit about the reticular activating system that you know.
I've only even heard that word probably in the last several months to a year when I read one book that described what that was. And as soon as I heard it, I went, oh my God, that makes so much sense now. Because it's something that I already believed. It's just that, oh, wow, I learned that there's a scientific name for this part of the brain that I've been saying, hey, this exists. You can call it mystical. You could call it God. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But somehow this is working.
I believe it's God-made.
Oh,
I believe
yeah,
there's
exactly.
And Napoleon, he said he's the other Napoleon, he said that everything is here, but it needs that divine intelligence. It needs that one cause, the intelligence, whether you call it God or whatever, because we all have different belief systems.
Yeah.
But yeah, just,
What I was reading about specifically was that your conscious mind is capable of focusing on one, could be two things at a time if you're really working hard, like with all of your effort. And then your
'Cause everything else.
there's something in your subconscious that can work on more things than you could possibly imagine, more than you could ever fill it up with, like billions of things. I mean, so it's about when you take an idea and you put it into your conscious mind and you focus all of your effort onto doing it 100%, it could be as simple as I'm going to go get a bagel from the fridge and put it in the toaster. And I have to walk from here to across the living room right there. And somewhere in between, I'm going to get distracted. Oh, there's mail on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with all of my effort, I can't do that one simple task. And yet when it really gets sunk into your subconscious mind, and the book was saying there's going to be a way we're going to describe how you do that.
Yeah.
But first, we're just going to explain the overall premise here is that you're going to get this into your subconscious mind, which has this ability to say, my aim is getting that bagel. And it can deal with every little piece of information that's coming to you, the color of that wall 30 feet over there, and the sound of that person's voice 100 feet over there.
Yeah.
And you're hearing all of these things, and every little piece of information is going in there and being used and filtered out faster than you could possibly ever do it consciously. It's saying, this is important, this is important, this is important, this isn't, this is what we need, and it's going to get you to that bagel faster than you ever needed. Faster than you ever knew you needed or you could do.
Yeah.
So it's so many millions of times more powerful to understand and integrate what it is that you want and where it is that you're going than to consciously try to push yourself there.
Yeah, because a lot of times you're going, why isn't this working? Why, I'm working so hard, but why isn't? And really, you're getting scattered. There's so many people that are so scattered. They don't schedule.
Yeah.
I'm so busy and I can't get this done. And there's no way I can do. And you keep telling yourself those negative things. You keep speaking that negative, which comes first thing in the morning. I mean, first thing.
Yeah.
And if you aren't really disciplining your mind, so I do in the morning, I do a ritual of having time for my positive affirmations, for my God time, for Proverbs, for positive thinking, for, whatever it is, I aim at that, but I say it every day. Pretty soon, as Napoleon Hill said, it's going to give up. It's going to say, the subconscious is finally going to say, hey, she really means this. And it becomes real for you.
Yeah.
It becomes real. But you really have to be dedicated. And putting this towards your career, what is so important is that you really are thinking about whether you can or can't do that thing that you love, whether you can or can't devote the time, whether you can or can't put the money out to do something for yourself, period, in anything you want to do. And that's what you're saying, your goals, anything you want to do. But you do have to be purposed. And my thing that I said, I sent it out of the newsletter. It is in the morning and in the evening. Ain't we got fun? So in the morning and the evening, you need to discipline your time. Before you go to bed, what are you thinking? Are you distracted? Do you go to bed watching TV? Oh my gosh. And so you want to think of what you want to aim for. And then in the morning, you need to reiterate the positive things so that as soon as you get up and go towards the day, you've changed everything. You are calibrated now. You are calibrated for what is wonderful in you. And, no matter what is going on, after I finish my time, I'm going, woohoo, my little kid is out. What are we going to do today? So this is so, so exciting. So, get to reading, get to thinking about what we're saying because, we're both fulfilling our life's journey. We're both doing it.
Well, we all are.
We all are in some aspect where we are at that point.
Yeah.
I just want people to get more out of their
right,
lives.
and I think what you and I why we like to do things like this is because we say, oh my God, we got that one bagel. Like we're going, that one thing that is so hard for so many people to accomplish, and we thought it was so hard, and it's this tiny little easy thing, and we're going, we did it, guys, we're so excited. Do you want to know how we found this one little thing?
Yeah.
And to anybody who does that, it's so exciting to try to want to share that.
Yes.
And for me, it's also important to say that it is just that one tiny thing. I haven't figured out the rest of it yet.
Yeah.
I know that as I get better at, like I said, pinpointing that, it's going to happen more and more and more.
Yes.
But I know that it has happened this much, this far, and I have things that I can point to in my life, literally,
Yeah.
that took me from absolute, what do I even call it? It's not even depression. It's just nothingness, just boredom and lack and frustration, to experiences that I can hardly describe with words. They're so magical. And that has happened. That has literally happened in my life.
That's
And I'm able to stand here and say, yeah, that's why. It's because I put it in my mind in this particular way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's one little piece. That's that one little bagel in the fridge. That's
One
all
little
that is.
bagel in the fridge.
That's all it is.
You gotta
And
get it.
singing is very literally that process. So if people are coming here to this YouTube channel to learn how to sing, and they're going, well, what does this have to do with singing? It's amazing how that is the process of singing. It's you have a million muscles and cells and all of the things that I could probably go to biology anatomy school for
A long
my
time.
entire life and never learn all of it.
Yeah.
And then even if I did, I can look at how many years it takes to control 10 fingers and get them to consciously do something on the piano. Imagine trying to do that with a million different muscles and say, okay, you go here right now, you go here right now, you go here right now, you go. It's like trying to talk to a bunch of children and say, okay, go sit over there. Okay, now you guys stay there. Okay, now go and tell 10 other children what to do. By the time you told that second one, these ones have already moved. And that's what your muscles are doing. You can't tell every one of the things in your mouth and throat and body to sing a middle C. To do all of the things necessary to sing a middle C. And then think of all of the different ways to sing that middle C on oo, on ah, on e, on ah, on I, on and then do the same thing on every other C, every other C sharp, every other D, for every style, with grit, without. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You cannot consciously tell yourself to sing all of those notes. No, what you're doing is you're implanting, ingraining in yourself. You are ingraining in yourself what those notes feel like, what they mean to you, and more importantly, what it is you are trying to express. And when you wake up the next day, exactly the way that note comes out is you expressing yourself, and that's exactly what it's no longer a middle C, it's the note in that song that you're singing.
Yeah.
Which we then, in hindsight, say, oh, that was a C.
Yes.
But you are now expressing yourself, and you're expressing how it is that you feel, and it's coming out as music, not just coming out as a whole series of notes that you're trying to hold together.
Yes. Hopefully. That's what we want. We want that wonderful feeling coming through. So, Dennis, when you came like years ago, and you were looking for some help, what were some of the things that you were asking about, and what did I help you with? What did you get out of the lessons? Because people don't think they need to take lessons. They think they can just go without, which you're always learning anyway from
Right.
sources. You just think you're not learning, But, you were concerned about things, but what did you end up with?
Yeah, so I actually initially came in concerned with that I could sing sort of seemingly effortlessly at certain moments, and then other times it seemed like no matter how much effort I put into it, I couldn't sing what I could sing at other times. It was very inconsistent. Yeah. And I was wondering if there was any kind of method that could get me to that window that I need to be in.
Yeah.
To be able to sing and to be able to express really just...
You wanted consistency.
Yeah, consistently.
With your delivery. You wanted that consistency.
Yeah. And ultimately, to be honest, where that all came from was from performing and doing it and being consistent. Like I found even just this year, my voice was really fluid and ready to sing whatever I needed to in like June and July, which is just so happens to be when most of my gigs were.
Oh,
that
was
good. That's good. That's good, but it's that I was singing very consistently at that time. Not necessarily not necessarily singing for 4 hours every night, but singing for a reasonable amount of time, very very frequently, very consistently. And what I learned from you that I think allowed that whole process to happen was something that I didn't really go in anticipating to learn, which is sort of what happens in lessons. It's like you don't realize what you actually have to learn.
Yes.
But what you actually have to learn is what you actually have to learn to even get to that part that you want to get to. And when I was singing at the time, there were so many things that I was singing how I thought I had to hit the note.
Oh.
And you taught me how to brighten up and even sort of smile when I was singing, which I do all the time now, which doesn't only look better when I'm singing. I don't look like I'm in pain as much. It also it allowed me to start giving myself the permission to sing the song how I wanted to sing it, not how I thought I had to sing it to hit the note.
So important. Yeah. Being authentic to your own sound, to your own voice, your own being. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the times when you're learning how to sing, especially as a boy whose voice just changed, and you're trying to figure out how to hit those notes, you're like, oh, I can't say the words how I would normally say them. I have to like slide up to it and do this weird ooh sound, and that's how I get it out. But as you start saying, no, I'm going to sing it, like if I'm saying I'm going to sing it, I'm going to sing it like I just said that. I'm going to sing it. Like, I'm going to say the words the same way with the intention, with the same enunciation and everything. And you gave me some things that I sort of didn't see coming. Like, you were telling me, no, that needs to be brighter than you think. That you need to say that word. Why are you saying it like this? It's like, oh, I thought I had to hit the note. So...
You know, they
had to. You don't have to. You can, and now I'll still sing notes that way sometimes if I want to.
Exactly. You're making decisions, though, with your voice. Right. You're deciding how the voice goes. You're so much more in charge.
Yes, I feel much more in charge since those lessons, since that.
Yeah, that's so good.
That definitely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You know, in lessons, I tell people so many times, how would you say that? Mm-hmm. Well, that's you.
Yeah.
That's you. And that's how you would that's how you say something. So sing it that way. You know, you don't want to sing, but how would you say that sentence? You got to say it authentically to you.
I could be sustaining a note on B5, which is 2 octaves above where I speak, but it'll still sound like I'm with the same attitude as if I was saying it.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
That I think is what changed, because I used to sing a B5 differently than I would speak a B3, you know, and now I don't. It's really I can say it like that. I can say it like that. Whatever it is that I'm trying to say to get across.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, you know, I think it's the whole idea of you're deciding. Mm-hmm. You're deciding, but you have the tools to do that. And so many times teachers are trying to give like this, you know, you should do it this way, you should do it that way, and this is the only way you can do it. And the thing is that you were so talented when you came. I saw that you needed to think everything through. And you needed to come up with your decisions. But I needed to just guide you with things and give you opportunity to look over here with this. And everybody's different. You have to know what the person needs and give them what they need, not what you think that they need. That's so important when you're teaching. And you know, it's with life. You need to be there for people the way they need it, not the way you think they need it, you know? And breathing and support.
Yeah. I definitely gained new skills in breathing, different ways of breathing that I hadn't really thought of before. It was almost opposite.
Yeah, I know. I remember you standing, I can almost see you standing there. It's like, well, no. And I said, try it, you know? And you are the type person who is going to go after whatever they're looking for and delve in really deep. You know, you didn't just talk here. You got involved. You get involved. So you would check it out. Mm-hmm. And in the end, you're the singer, and you have to make the decisions for what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. But at least you're given the opportunity. Here, you got this, and this. Now check it out and see what works. You know, and everybody's different. Like I said, I will not say the same thing the same way to to another person.
Right.
But with you, that was what was necessary. And with you guys, okay, we've got to talk about one more thing, which is auditions. And just a few little hints about auditions from a person who has auditioned, who has done acting and auditioned for acting. You know, Dennis,
Auditions
you
for bands
and
all
bands,
of that. Yeah.
and but you know, you play. He plays magnificent piano, as well as
thank you.
sings, as well as writes.
Thank you.
So, you know, he is versed. He is in the business, been in the business. So auditions just for the person coming up, just to help them.
Yeah. Well, I think there's different kinds of auditions that I've faced in my life. So some of them are like this kind of thing where, like most acting auditions, where they're calling in 100 people for that same role and they're picking one. And some of those that I've gotten, although you have to go in knowing that, okay, I have to do 10 of these before I'm even going to possibly get one. Because just think about how many people they're calling in. Just statistically, you're going to do 1,000,000 of them and get one. Some auditions you have to go in with that mindset. But still, it doesn't really change anything. You're going in prepared. And there's really two ways to look at it. You could look at it like, man, I want to be a part of this thing. And what can I do? What can I bring in? What can I learn and do new about myself to get that thing? And the other way is to go in with a completely different intention, which is instead of the intention of wanting to get the job, the intention is I want to show them who I am.
Yes,
And
exactly.
when I walk out of there, I'm going to be satisfied not whether I got the job or not. I'm going to be satisfied with my own performance. Did I express as much as I could possibly express? Did I put myself out there as clearly as possible? So getting clear on what it is that you want to do, who it is that you are. And I'm not going to tell you one way or the other is the right way to do it. I mean, there's obviously you could combine those two things and want to learn something, want the job, but also just more importantly, be yourself. I'm just saying that I've gone in with those different feelings and really different things are going to come out of it, and that's an important distinction. And I also just wanted to say that with a lot of music auditions, it's a very different thing. Some of the most, I don't want to compare it, but it's almost like the things that have lasted longer and the things that have provided even more value over a long period of time, they weren't those kinds of things where you're up against 1,000,000 people. It's something that comes about a little bit more organically.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like a music audition where a band, someone left and someone brought up your name and they said, okay, yeah, let's have Dennis come in here and see if he fits with the band. They tried me out. I was basically the only one they tried out. They might have had one other person.
Yeah.
And those are sometimes the most magical things. It's because you weren't being compared against a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
It was just, this is it. This was the magic and it fit.
Yeah.
And so sometimes those are the magical auditions too, where it's not even a concern of how well you're doing in the audition. It's you could concern yourself more with, I want to get the kind of auditions where I'm going in and they already know that I'm what they want. They're just checking.
Yeah.
We're basically just jamming at that point.
They're all different kinds of situations. I think the aspect that I come from is to really know who you are, because we're constantly putting ourselves out there and being judged and saying, yeah, I like you. No, I don't. You can come, you can't. And you really have to know who you are. You really have to be firm and solid within, personally as well as professionally, and know that the auditions aren't the beginning and end all of your life.
Yeah.
They're just an instance in your journey, and the journey is the important thing. It's not that one moment or whether you got that one thing. It's your journey along the way, because you never know from one that you really got, okay, that's great, but then one you didn't, you still learned. And also, it's just one thing, like I said, in the journey. You never know what comes out of it, because you didn't get that. You go down another
plus
road, and it can be a road, and it can be really good for you.
Yeah, and them saying no to you might be because they're looking for something that is not you, that you don't even want to be. So that no could be really good news.
Excellent. That is, that's the gem that he just dropped down on you, because you have to know, that our hearts and our minds and our spirits can be very sensitive, but you have to be strong too, and resilient, and brave. You know, you have to have courage to go ahead out there, be accepted, not be accepted. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot in life, but that's the only way that you do succeed in life. It's a journey. So don't get caught up in this moment or that moment, okay? And I have to say, Dennis, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Thank you
having me.
so much. It was so great. I haven't seen Dennis for so long, and I started being brave and reaching out and saying hi, and starting to. The other day, I just messaged a whole bunch, text a whole bunch of people telling them to have a good day. You know, it was like, and I'm actually myself being brave and coming out personally because I tend to isolate, and I'm just saying hello to
Oh, I
everyone.
was so happy to hear from you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
it was not just about this, but you know, a few weeks ago when we were talking about other stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, here's Marquita. We were just thinking about you, and yeah, it was perfect timing. So
You were
thank
telling me that. You were just thinking about me. It was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, right. Well, that's how it always works out, right?
Yes, yes. Our minds are set, like we were talking about the mind.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, what I'm going to do is say, you've got to subscribe.
Absolutely. Oh, I thought you were going to bust out into song right there.
No, I'll do that in a minute.
Oh, okay. I gotta say,
Don't tell him. Subscribe. Good Lord. Okay, we should leave a comment. You got to leave a comment. I want to know what you want to know from Dennis. You want to know more about him. Tell people where they can get a hold of you.
yeah. Well, on Instagram, it's at Dennis Atlas, DennisAtlas. Same thing on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Dennis Atlas. Facebook, just type in Dennis Atlas.
Yeah, there you go.
You can see my personal page or my Facebook fan page, which I wish I could just have one, but you know, Facebook has to make things complicated. And then what else? I got TikTok and DennisAtlas.com.
Thank you. I was waiting for
Yeah.
that. I said that, you know, I was like, okay, come on. I'm thinking, yeah, you know, .com?
Dennis Atlas at DennisAtlas.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They had a song about that in one of the bands that I was in, that I auditioned for even. Yeah. And yeah, they started singing to me, you know, I'm Dennis Atlas at DennisAtlas.com. Like we would always figure out how to sneak that into the show somewhere. So there you go. That's where you find me. And TikTok. Did I say that?
That's it. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Such a day, yeah. Such a mighty fine day, yeah. Woo! Had to do that. Had to say that.
Absolutely. It's a good beginning and ending.
Yeah, I got a bookend and a hair in my mouth.
Very good.
Yes, can't have that. It doesn't taste good. Okay, now there's another thing I want to tell you about, okay? So, and it comes in with, you know, what I had said and we were saying before, which is I have a course, vocal workout course, okay? So it's working the muscles, keeping them in tuned, ready to go, and working your muscles consistently as well as doing the songs. You know, that's the big deal, that you've got to work your muscles from very low to very high, and that's what we do, as well as then being ready with your songs, and you feel your muscles, you know what they're doing. And then the other thing is singing for a lifetime. It's just for the girls. What can I say? But, you know, it is great, because private lessons can be hard, they can be expensive, but with Singing for a Lifetime, it's online, so check it out, okay? And I think that's it. I think we're going to have to say bye. Okay?
Okay.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.